I mentioned yesterday I got a note from an old friend of mine from Michigan days, Java Man. In fact, it was a Java Man's. I used to live at his house. He had a house in East Lansing back in the 60s, and he rented out rooms in it. And I mean, he's my age. I think he's maybe a couple of years older than I am, but you know, in the neighborhood. And he's been to Cuba. And he sent out this email to a few friends, including me, a couple of days ago. He says, I got a vent. I can't help it. I'll get over it. But damn it, I was just there. He was just in Cuba. And he says, Ted Cruz talks of Cuban political prisoners and criticizes Obama. This is total BS. True, there is internet censorship, but Google has been allowed to set up free high-speed internet kiosks, so Cuba's making concessions. It takes time. Most political prisoners are protesters detained and released after 48 hours, kind of like protesters at a Trump rally, like the ladies in white in Cuba. Many in prison are true terrorists. About 50 are violent people. Ted Cruz doesn't mention that Castro released 53 people the U.S. claimed were political prisoners last year. The AP cited 167 political prisoners in 2010 in Cuba, but after the release last year and proper classification of truly violent people, there may be almost no true political prisoners left in Cuba. Now to the U.S., we have 167 in Guantanamo Bay. No bail, no trial. Some are bad guys, some are mistakes. It's way, way worse than Cuba, plus another few hundred jailed in kangaroo court trials. Just in general, we have 5% of the world's population and 25% of the prison population. And he says, and we do not have embargoes against at least 10 countries that are way worse than Cuba in terms of, you know, repressive regimes like China. And by the way, I would add to this, and thank you, Java, for all this. I would add to this Don Siegelman. As I said on the air at the time, I keep waiting for, well, the time has passed now, but I kept waiting for the press to ask President Obama, when he was talking about human rights and political prisoners, if he would address the issue of the Don Siegelman, our political prisoner. But apparently not.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.